What is up, PFL Nation? It is Monday Night Football. It is your boy John Smith in the booth, and we have an absolute monster of a game for y'all today. We got Rank 1 Alabama coming off that huge win against Ole Miss, 31-14, against Rank 3 Miami, who did drop down one rank after that loss to Georgia, 24-27. Obviously, Georgia took that Rank 2 spot, so Miami's going to be looking to bounce back here. I am super excited to call this one for you guys today. It's starting off hot on a Monday night. There's a ton of storylines in this one, but for me, the biggest things to look out for are going to be K-Grad getting his running game going, K5 in that backfield, making sure that he is getting on the board. I expect to see him to get a lot of handoffs tonight, and Miami's defense is going to have to concentrate on containing that man. You know, Ole Miss was able to contain him last week, but it wasn't nearly enough because their offense couldn't get moving. But Miami's a different beast, man. They got the offense to actually put points on the board and give Bama a hard time. And we are going to see Miami start on the offensive side of the ball. And we're going to see the kneel down in the end zone and get our first look. And it does look like PS3 is still going to be starting at quarterback. I know there was some drama with him after the last game. There was some fear that maybe he was going to get benched. There was a lot of talk about that. But it does look like he is getting another shot, and I do think that is the right decision. This young guy is one of the best freshmen in the league, and I feel like he deserves a shot to redeem himself here. We're going to see the first snap taken is a handoff to D12. D12 had an absolutely amazing game last week. He was the shining light on that Miami offense, and I expect him to try to continue to do more of the same. And we see Coach Willis talking to his Bama guys, talking to Carson, making sure he's ready, talking to K-Grad, making sure they're ready when they get the ball on offense themselves. But Miami's feeling pretty good. Obviously, that first play of the drive, keeping the ball moving, staying in front of the chains, is going to be critical against this Alabama defense. We see PS3's first pass of the night, lots of time. Settles for the curl route, easy does it to D12, who can, of course, catch the ball out of the backfield. Nice, easy, soft pass to start off his night, get that confidence rebuilt. And he's got to be careful, man. That Alabama defense does not play around. You know, they got the Andre Roche defensive brother. They got Tayshawn Wiggins. They got Jay Johnson and Zion Anderson repping up those safety spots. Miami absolutely has to be super careful about that secondary as we see D12 take another rush here, get 3 yards, stay positive, and we're going to see PS3 line up under center, take the snap, does hand it off. D12 finds the gap. Well done by him, not just forcing his way right, but instead cutting back left and getting them into a third and very manageable situation. As we see PS3 take a shotgun snap, I believe for the first time, and an empty set. They're putting it on his shoulders saying, let's convert this third down. Does the quick route, finds his man, nice and easy for Miami. That is perfect. That is Tanaka with his first catch on the night. Miami's offense is, of course, stacked. They do have PS3 at QB, D12 like we've already been seeing. Tracus Sutton as their other running back, who will line up in the slot formation. We saw a bit of that last week, but we should see more of that this week. And then, of course, Jabari Brown and Amari Tanaka as wide receivers. Both those guys are absolute beasts, and I expect to see a ton of involvement out of them from PS3. So this Bama secondary has their work cut out for them against this Miami offense. As we see D12 take another handoff and looks to get about 6.5, maybe 7 yards there. Actually looks like, oh, yep, never mind. As Coach Willis is getting a little hot as his defense is not making the stops he's expecting to see. But honestly, Miami's just being smart, trying to avoid going any of those crazy deep routes. We're really relying on their running game, as we do see it was a 5-yard gain there, 2nd and 5. D12 continuing to pound the ball, but it looks like his own offensive lineman prevented him from falling forward to get some extra yards there. We are once again in a third and manageable situation for Miami. 8 minutes left to go in this first quarter. PS3 sends the man in motion. They do go off on the jet sweep. Tons of room. What a run. Breaks a man off and keeps it moving. Jabari Brown with a massive 17-yard rush, including 6 yards after he got hit. That jet sweep was extremely unexpected. We do see Lee on the tackle there for Alabama. They did not have protection on that left-hand side. Clearly they were just watching D12 and trying to stop the right side run. And Miami absolutely cooked up a great play there. That is Coach Anderson with a great jet sweep call on the 3rd and short to not only get the first down, but get a heck of a lot more. And we're going to see Miami line up inside the red zone for the first time tonight on this first drive. 7.5 minutes to go in this first. We see the rollout right. PS3 pressure's coming. Doesn't have a lot of time. Does get it away, which I just think is the right decision. You know, he's coming off of a tough loss. You don't want to try to force the ball in and cause a pick, especially not in the red zone. You want to make sure you're walking away with points. And if you're Bama, you got to be proud with the pressure D-line's putting on him here. Really not a ton of room, but he does almost break that man and get into the end zone. Super close there by Ridley. I thought for a second, you know, there wasn't very much space on that outside, but he found the tiny little corner to get through. Ends up making it 1st and goal. Absolutely huge play. Very well done. As we see him kind of stumble forward and almost make his way into the end zone. We're going to see PS3 take this one as well. I could see this as a handoff to the right side for D12. And just saying, hey, get us in there, pound the rock. He does fake it, rolls to the right, looks for 17. Has him, but waits, I think, too long. Breaks the sack, though. And gets it away. We saw PS3 break 2 back-to-back sacks, but then unfortunately get hit for a safety last week against Georgia, and he breaks another one there. Pressure immediately in his face, just has to throw it away. He is getting rocked by this Alabama defense, but continues to get the ball out on time. We see Bama showing pressure once again. We do see the handoff to D12, and the huge tackle is made as Bama prevents the touchdown. Absolutely huge out of Moody. D12 thought he had a lane, and Moody just came out of nowhere and smacked him down. As you see Coach Anderson talking to his staff there, saying maybe we should have drawn up something a little bit better on those first 2 plays. Absolute crunch, and that is a huge bend, don't break moment for this Alabama defense. And honestly, their defense was looking a little upset at the start of the drive, but they are going for it. This is a huge start to this game, folks. You have to try to go for big, and it is stopped. Bama gets the stop. PS3 just kind of threw it in there towards the secondary. Massive stop for Alabama as we're going to get their first look at the offense here. They are obviously in super tight space, so I do expect this first play to be a handoff to K5. The Bama offense, of course, they have Carson Young, one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the PFL right now. Come on. K Grad in the backfield. He does get the handoff. Tons of room on that left-hand side. One man to beat. Almost gets there. Does get to the 20 on a 17-yard rush. Absolutely huge out of him. Kamani Gradney, we need to see way more of him in this game than we did last week against Ole Miss, especially against an elite Miami offense like they're facing. They are going to need that ground game if they want to come out with a win on this one. Of course, we do have the other Andre Roche brother at wide receiver, and Swift Carson at wide receiver as well. And of course, I'm always going to mention the Carson to Carson connection is always hot, always live when we watch this Bama team play. And you guys definitely want to be on the lookout for that. As we see K5 just manhandling his way to almost another first down. You see those light stats from last week, but he absolutely crushing it right now. His first carries are huge, and this is exactly what Alabama's going to need in order to keep that pressure on the Miami defense. You know, the Miami defense, of course, is led out by the star C.J. Duffy out there. He is going to be your lockdown cornerback, really where Bama's not going to be looking to throw because that man will get you intercepted. You see number 5 right there. You have to be really careful when you're throwing it his way because he will absolutely torch you if you aren't. And we see K5 get a handoff here and just a bunch of white jerseys swarming on the ball. K5 still managing to get him into 2nd and 3, and Alabama's run offense is doing exactly what they set out to do when they were game planning for this game. As we see him send a man in motion there, that's Andre Roche in motion. Has the guy on the long curl route, that is Allen on the catch. Allen was absolutely everywhere last week and was just absolutely Carson's #1 target, so it's good to see him get involved here in the first quarter. K5 tries to make it to the outside to get to the hole, almost gets there, but does get stopped. That is a big tackle, as I really don't feel like there was a lot of backup support there for Miami. We see Carson take the snap, huge chop block there, and finds his man. Absolute toe drag. What a catch right there for Alabama. Oh my goodness, as Dylan Romo makes the amazing toe drag swag catch, and Carson Young delivers an absolute dot to the sidelines. Pressure was starting to come, but he had a super clean pocket, and Dylan with the elite hands to make that catch and put him in a first and goal situation. Now, as we just saw from Miami's drive, this does not mean a score, and Bama's still going to have to stay focused if they want to make sure to put points on the board here and be the first to get on the board in this incredibly exciting 1v3 matchup. See him settling. Looks like him and Allen were not on the same page there. That is Carson's first incompletion. And if you're Miami, you got to be happy with that defensive stop here, putting in his second and goal. Pressure coming. Needs to get rid of the ball. Doesn't get rid of it in time, and that is a huge sack for Watts right there, coming around his blocker to deliver the pressure. Carson looks like he had his man. He was getting ready to throw. Honestly, you should just be happy he hung on to that ball, as Watts absolutely laid him out. Huge hit by that big man coming off of that left hand side. Absolutely crunches him. And that is perfect for Miami. Like I was telling you guys, these, goal line situations, these first and goals, second and goals, these are not guaranteed scores. And now we have a third and goal from the almost 13-yard line. They see the fake handoff here. Lots of time in the pocket. Wide open man, but I don't think they're going to give him forward progress. And that's going to be a fourth and goal right on the line. And let's see if Bama does the same thing Miami did and decides to go for it here. Absolutely massive tackle, as he did get burned on the curl route, but was right there to make the hit and prevent the touchdown. What a play. And I do want to give credit, of course, to Swift. That was an amazing catch by Carson. We're seeing that Carson to Carson connection early, but also got to give huge credit to that Miami defense for getting the stop. Bama's going to just take safe, take the points. Honestly, with K5 in the backfield, I think they have better reasons to go for it than Miami did with D12, because they're right on the line versus a few yards out. But they will take the 3. Obviously they're going to get the ball at half. Maybe they're just thinking we're going to play conservatively here in this first quarter. And we're going to see the kickoff here as Miami. What an absolute boot, by the way. That kick was ridiculous by Fletcher. That looked like it was going to go into the friggin' goalposts of the other side of the field. And we're going to get our second look here at this Miami offense. I really want to see more of that man, Jabari Brown. He's got to be more involved. Obviously, they were able to run pretty well, but PS3's got to be feeling a little shaken after not scoring in what should have been a very clear scoring situation. We see the pitch out to D12. Huge block there. Probably should have just stayed on the outside. Might have been able to absolutely break that, but he'll take what he got. Second and very manageable. The playbook is wide open on these second and threes. I'm excited to see what Coach Anderson cooks up here as we see the rollout. Very easy on the bootleg. Tons of space here. And Miami is really just doing whatever they want on this second drive. Massive 18-yard catch and keeping the ball moving. They have to be happy so far with this performance. That's Andrew Warner on that catch as well. But the Bama defense, like I keep talking about, they have some absolute killers in the secondary. And I do think we're going to see more and more of, under Roche, Wiggins, Johnson, and Anderson as this game continues to go on. And he do just wind down the quarter, get those twos up in chat. We have a very defensive battle here, just 3-0, which is probably surprising. I know I'm slightly surprised up here in the booth. I thought we would see a much more high-scoring game to start us off. Let me know what your thoughts are of the first quarter. And again, thank you guys so much for rocking with us. If you are new to the PFL, make sure you're checking out that description, DMing us on Instagram, liking this, and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and join up with us. Go ahead and fill out that sign-up form. Get yourself in the league. And who knows, it could be you I'm calling next week in the booth. And you can go ahead and be rocking with us right away. So as we see, PS3 is going to go ahead and take this snap in the shotgun. Are going to see the handoff. I think that is the first handoff for Sutton. So it's good to see him get the ball, as he does get a 4-yard gain, send up a third and very short. This is a massive test for the defense. They want to make sure to get the stop here. We do see the handoff to D12, and we do see Alabama get the stop, forcing the fourth down. Massive stop for them. And that man is already up to 4 tackles in what's essentially just one quarter. Coach Willis has to be happy with the defensive response, holding Miami back, forcing the loss of 1 and the 4th down. You can't really be asking for much more out of your defense. And that is a perfect stop. Just comes out of nowhere and throws D12 to the ground. And they're going to need to see more and more and more of that. You saw Anderson there fighting to try to get through his own blocker as well. This is a very long field goal at about 55 yards. Absolutely not a gimme. Let's see if the young man's got the leg for it. And Gibbons does not, right? Nope. Gibbons just was not going to get there. Let's see. Yep. Looks like he actually had enough leg and just went left. Oh my goodness, you can see Coach Anderson is very upset. Listen, in the PFL, a 15-yard field goal isn't a gimme, let alone a 50-plus. You know, these young guys, they might have the leg, but that accuracy comes with experience, which is not really there right now. And now Bama has fantastic field position. You do not want to give Carson Young the ball at the 40-yard line because he's going to go to work as we see him hit Allen for the quick gain. The pressure was coming. Miami definitely dialed up a blitz there, but he was able to get the ball out really fast. As we see the defense all messing around with each other, got to be super excited about that performance they just had, especially considering they got their offense the ball back at the 40-yard line. You see Carson go ahead and go off to the handoff to K5. K5 really no room to run. This Miami defense has done a great job. You know, Eric Lyle was an absolute beast last week, and he's continuing his performance here tonight, shutting down the run out of K5. Carson way too much time in the pocket, has his man, of course. There it is again, that Carson Carson connection, as Swift Carson does make the catch. Once again, moving the chains. We see Blades on the tackle. Coach Willis is excited. I know he's been talking about getting that Carson to Carson connection going again. We haven't seen a lot of it the last 2 weeks. I know I called both of those games. I was surprised that we hadn't seen it as much, but it seems like we're finally starting to see it again. And I know that's got to make Coach Willis happy. We did see the jump, but just does not hike in time, you know, to get the actual free play. Doesn't matter though. Allen's going to push his way for what might be a first down. Worst case scenario, 2nd and inches. They did give him the first down, so we have a whole new set of downs here. We're inside Miami territory. K5 is going to get the handoff. Has a lot of room to run and just barrels his way forward for 8 yards. 6 carries for almost 50 yards already. That's exactly what we were trying to see out of this young man after the lackluster performance he had last week. He knows he needed a massive bounce-back game. We saw another defender jump for Miami, but just do not get the ball hiked in time. And instead of an automatic first down from the offsides, we are now in a 3rd and 3 situation. With Bama, they want to convert here. I mean, you're feeling good. Your offense is moving the ball well. You're definitely not trying to stall the drive out. And if you're Carson Young, you just got to pay a little bit more attention. You're doing such a good job on these hard counts that you're getting these defenders to jump all the time. And when they jump, you have to hike that ball right away. You can't just sit on that because they're going to keep getting you over and over again. As we see the jet sweep, absolutely ready for it. Miami said, we can do that to you. You cannot do that to us, as Andre Roche doesn't barely get back to the line of scrimmage. As it's now 4th and 3. Miami's defense coming up huge with the big stop. Of course, like I said, led out by CJ Duffy. He wasn't super involved, but you see him right there on the tackle. You know, I don't know why they're highlighting 21 when CJ is the one that ripped him down, but that's fine. Big tackle out of CJ. He is the leader on that defense, and we are seeing Alabama go for it. I think this is the right decision. I really do. We do see it as a run, though. I don't know if he's going to give it to him. I don't know if they're going to give it to him. They did. That's a close spot. I feel like Miami could challenge that. That was super close. Way to extend K5 to get that done. As we see him on a loss here. Absolutely came out of nowhere on the corner blitz. Miami's got to be happy with that tackle. But honestly, I'm surprised we did not see the challenge flag out of Coach Anderson, because I really feel like that was a millimeters difference between that being a first down and a turnover. Insane there out of this refs. The Zebras are going crazy. They're in demon time. But anyway, we're going to see an empty backfield here for Carson. This is when he absolutely loves to let loose. Has plenty of time. Absolute stick with the route running, K5. This man says, I can do it all. I can do it from the backfield. I can do it from the empty set. That was brutal route. Absolutely torches his man. And Carson finds him just as well. perfect pass, perfect connection. And, you know, once you have K5 in open space, that's when he's going to be at his best, and he does set up the first and goal. We see Miami in the goal line. I think we're just going to see Bama try to hammer this home. They do send Swift in motion, and there is the run. They're trying to hammer it in. They don't quite get to the line. That was the backup Williams. We do see K5's back in. Miami's got everybody on the line ready to try to stop a run here. They are going to go for the pass. Has it nice and easy to Allen on the curl route, and that is a touchdown for the #1 ranked team in the nation. Allen getting another one. Carson to Allen. And now, assuming the extra point goes in, we've got ourselves a 10-point game. You can see the frustration from the coach. This is exactly what Alabama was looking to do. And their offense finally feels like it's getting in a groove against this Miami team. You know, they've had a few drives stalled. That fourth down where they went for it and K5 made that stretch that got them the first by, I swear, what felt like a millimeter. Ends up being a massive play, getting them 7 more points than they would have. And if you're Miami right now, all you're thinking about is we have to respond. We need to see it some kind of points, but obviously preferably 7. As Coach Anderson's, you know, trying to get his guys focused up here, telling them where they need to be to make these plays. But PS3, D12, Sutton, Brown, Tanaka, we need to see some big stuff out of you guys on this drive in order to get Miami on the board and stop this from becoming a blowout here. As we know, Bama's going to get the ball at half. We do see it taken out of the end zone again to what looks like the 22-yard line. And now I want to watch. Oh, no, never mind. It's just a 20-yard return. Now I really want to see what PS3 and D12 and company do on this drive. I'd love to see, like I said on the last one, more Jabari Brown and Amari Tanaka involvement. I think that's going to be critical if they want to have any success. We see a massive audible here out of PS3. He did not like the look in the slightest. Sends a man in motion, takes the touch pass, goes with the handoff to Sutton. Sutton has a ton of room, absolutely rips. You know, sometimes he turns on those jets, and next thing you know, he is upfield. Huge run and great audible by PS3. I want to give him credit there. Clearly did not like the look at first and went ahead, audibled into the run to Sutton. Found a great lane for him and ends up turning it into a big gain when it seems like Bama was definitely setting up for pass protection. We do see the box absolutely loaded up here out of Alabama due to the trip set up top. It's going to be another handoff. This time the D12 only gets a couple. Miami may be thinking about just controlling this clock as much as possible, trying to be the last people to have the ball in the half. PS3 is going to take the snap, hand it off again. Nowhere to go for D12. Absolutely stuffed that time. You see him at 11 touches already from 38 yards as Moore makes the tackle there. Not a ton of yard production out of him, but he is getting the tough yards when Miami needs them. See PS3 take the snap here, has his man on the slant route. Needed to cut forward. I don't know if they're going to place that based on where the ball is. No, they are not. We see the 4th and inches as we get close to the 2-minute warning. Do you go for it here if you're Miami, or do you risk Bama getting the ball back and scoring again? This is an incredibly tough decision. We know Anderson can be aggressive. He went for it when he was in the goal line situation. I would not be surprised if they go for it here. That was so close, though. If they spot it based on the ball, you know, I think they might give it to him. They gave that to Bama earlier. They are going to punt right on the 50. Look at where the ball is. You got to challenge that. That is a crazy decision. As we see the ball bounce into the end zone, and now Carson Young's got 1:50 and 3 timeouts to get the ball back into scoring range. And I think, you know, I know they're highlighting him, but I think we'll see some K5 in the pass. I think we're going to see some empty sets here. And I do think we're going to see a lot of involvement for these Bama receivers. Of course, Andre Roche and Swift Carson are going to absolutely be the focus here. If Bama wants to succeed, they're going to go ahead and just take the dump off to K5. He's going to get what looks to be about 6. But they got to keep it moving. You see Carson's stats there. He's only missed 1 pass, 123 yards, and a touchdown. Carson's having himself a day, folks. And Bama just continues every time I watch them to solidify themselves as the #1 team. The game against Notre Dame was super close a couple of weeks ago. The game last week, against Ole Miss was not. And this game is shaping up to be more of the same. What a grab there by Romo. Keeping the chains moving, getting out of bounds. This is, of course, his second catch after the other amazing one. This kid just loves working those sidelines and making catches that are tough, and Carson keeps putting the ball right where he needs to. And we see this Miami defense, they're talking to each other. You see CJ at the top of your screen giving signals. They're absolutely talking to each other. They're just not quite on the same page. As we see another over the middle pass, Allen stretching his hand forward to push for that first down. Carson now up to 12 of 13. Allen's at 5 catches for 41 yards. And Carter with his second tackle of the game. But this is just crazy for this Bama offense. I mean, they are doing everything they want to do. The confidence has to be sky high. We see an interception. Oh my goodness, Couch with the massive pick that is third on the year. What a change of momentum off of the deflection. Just as I was saying, Bama's doing everything they want. He tries to force the ball into Swift. It gets deflected and then immediately picked off. Great synergy out of Miami, watching that ball, seeing the deflection. And if you're PS3, you have a minute and 3 timeouts. You have to get points on the board. Your defense just gave you a golden opportunity to bring your team back into this game, and you have to deliver here. As we see the shotgun set, 59 seconds on the clock, ball on the 44-yard line. Let's see what he can do as he goes underneath to Sutton. Sutton tries to get away but can't quite as he does get ripped down. We see the hurry up, 40 seconds on the clock, another pass here, PS3 looking, finds it, goes back to Sutton, who continues to be open underneath because Bama's just protecting the long play, trying to conserve this lead as much as possible. Miami does call timeout, which I think was correct. We don't want to be gassing your guys too bad. And I think this might be the take a shot play. And you see the fake. He does have a guy on the outside. It looks like that was Tanaka. Pressure's coming. Has Tanaka on the outside. Oh, nope, that wasn't Tanaka. Tanaka was there, but then it looks like Tanaka ran upfield. We do see Miami calling their second timeout. PS3's looking. Does he have a man? He does. He does find his man again. And that time it is Tanaka. We're going to be keeping that ball moving as they are. They should be pausing until they're set. Yes, because they got the first down. That's perfect. 21 seconds on the clock. 1 timeout remaining. I think maybe we'll see a couple shots to the end zone. Maybe they'll keep just trying to find the open guys. I cannot stress enough how important it is that they score on this drive. The defense gave them an elite opportunity, and Miami has to capitalize. Coach Anderson, I'm sure, is telling his guys, we need to score here. You see the clock ticking down. He needs to hike it, wasting way too much time. I don't know why he just ran off 7 seconds on the clock, dumps it underneath. Sutton fighting for yards, but it looks like there's only 7 seconds now. There would have been 13. I don't know. That was very poor clock management out of PS3, and Miami has no choice but to settle for the field goal in a situation where I feel like they could have gone for the touchdown. But they do get the 3 points at least. It is 10-3. It is a 1-possession game. They are going to be kicking off to Alabama to start the second half. But if their defense can deliver again like they just did against Carson and company, they're going to be feeling great about themselves. As you see Alabama take the knee. We're probably going to see one more play. They might just line up obviously in victory formation. But, of course, game's not over yet, so. We do see the QB kneel. And they're going to go ahead and take their 7-point lead and get the ball back at halftime. As that will wind down our first half of this #1 ranked team, Alabama, against the ranked 3 team, Miami. Let me see those threes in the chat. Let me hear everybody's thoughts on this first half, if it's going as you expected. I would say, honestly, for me, the biggest play of that first half was K5 reaching for that first down that turned into 7 for Alabama. And the biggest play for Miami is, of course, that interception that not only shut down Alabama's drive, but did lead to 3 points on the other side. And the biggest important things for me in the second half are going to be PS3 continuing to respond. Obviously, Miami's down. They're going to need their defense to step it up. CJ and company are going to have to do their thing to get the ball back. But when they do get the ball back, PS3 has to deliver a score here. You cannot keep settling for field goals or worse, nothing, because Alabama will continue to punish you. And my biggest takeaway for Alabama, honestly, is keep doing what you're doing. Yes, you had that fluke. You had the interception out of Carson, but otherwise he has been absolutely lethal tonight. And they're going to need him to continue to perform at that high level. And I also want to see more and more of the run game involved. I think a lot of clock management, a lot of possession-based football is going to be their biggest thing in the second half. As we get underway, again, thank you all so much for tuning in on this Monday night. I love calling these games. I love having everybody here. This is your boy, John Smith, in the booth. And if you are brand new to the PFL is a simulation football league where you can live out your collegiate dreams and eventually make your way into the pros. If you're interested in joining, please check out the description. Please check out our social media. Give us a follow. Like and subscribe to this video here. We release content every day, and we are very proud of that. So, make sure you're tuning in. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to myself, Commissioner Zeke, or honestly anybody else in the league. We're all a bunch of great guys, and we'd love to have you here. And maybe next time it will be your name getting called instead of Dylan Romo and Carson Young on that connection there, setting up 3rd and inches. Will we see a quick 3 and out? We see a bunch of pressure coming, setting the screen up, has blockers. K5 going to the outside, gets past midfield, and what started out is what could have been an immediate sack, and then a rough screen turns into a massive game for Bama as they're already at 156 passing yards. K-Grad has honestly been great for them on the catches. When you can get him the ball with a full head of steam, he's going to make something happen, and he continued to do that there. Carson getting that ball out to him at all was amazing, as he was getting absolutely clobbered, and K5 reacting quickly enough to reach down and grab the ball from near the turf is a perfect way to keep this drive alive for Alabama. As we see the wham motion get sent, that's going to be, a play action here. Ooh, he had Allen, just overthrows him slightly, and maybe that hit plus the pick at the end of the first half slowly starting to get to him. As you see pressure coming, finds his man again. Toe drag on the sideline. I swear Dylan Romo can only catch toe drag sideline catches. He doesn't care about the rest of the field. He's just going on these out routes. We're going to see the play action to K-Grad. He might dump it off here. Pressure is coming. Does try, but gets hit as he throws and just ends up throwing it away. And that will set up a forced punt out of Alabama. Great first sequence for this Miami defense. This is exactly what they wanted coming into the second half. Like I said, I believe in CJ. I believe in this Miami team. I believe in Eric Lyle. I believe in Anthony Diaz. They have a solid squad on the defensive side. And what they're going to need to see is that man right there respond with the big drive to start this second half. This may seem early of a call, but I really feel like if Bama just gets a 3 and out here, they're locking this game up. So let's see what happens. D12 gets the handoff, barrels his way forward, wide open up the middle. He is excited right now on 12 rushes for 48 yards. 2nd and inches basically means, as I always say, a wide open playbook. Gets the man to jump. This is a free play. So they're just going to go ahead and take the 5 yards. No 3 and out forced. Keep the chains moving. It's going to be a new set of downs here for PS3. A lot of D12 involvement early on, which I think is super important. I mentioned that Bama needs to have possession-based football, but that's going to work just fine for Miami. And they're going to want to see more and more of that out of their running back. This looks to be maybe the first pass of the second half for PS3. Nope, but they do go right back to him. Has a hole again. This running game is just working out. So in Miami's defense, if it ain't broke, don't fix it to the T, as we see a 2nd and 3rd set up here. And there is the first pass of the second half. Just goes underneath. Gets absolutely smacked right there by Zion, but manages to hang on to the ball and get a first down. What a hit by Zion there. His first tackle of the night. As D12 continues to try to fight, but there really wasn't anywhere to go on that one. Gets stuffed on the run and not a lot to do on. Now it's 2nd and 9. Miami going for the pass, has a man, finds him, immediately tackled, but that is Sutton lining up in that slot like we talked about. He can do that, and Miami likes to put him out there on certain situations. As we see Sutton again get the catch. We see a handoff to D12, gets tackled, but fights his way for what looks to be 3.5, 4 yards there. And Miami's got to be feeling pretty good about the way this offense is moving. I mean, their guys are getting laid out by these Bama defenders. The offense is moving along as we see D12 with another handoff up to 16 touches already. 3rd and 2. The box is stacked. We see 8 guys right around the box for Bama. We see the play action, the rollout, trying to break off his blocker. Does he have? He had a wide open. Oh my goodness. He had a wide open receiver but tried to force it to Jabari Brown and wasn't able to get there. I don't even know if Jabari was turned around. It looked like the play was designed to get the slot open over the middle, and Jabari was just trying to bite the safety, which worked, but PS3 was looking at the wrong guy as Miami is forced to settle for the field goal. Does manage to squeeze it in to make it a 4-point game, but that's still a touchdown, style difference. Another field goal ain't going to get them there. And they're once again going to be leaning on this defense and CJ Duffy, Eric Lyle and company to get the job done. And meanwhile, Alabama's got to be thinking, we need to mirror what they were doing. We're at 5 minutes here in this 3rd quarter. We need to have some possession-based football. We need to be running with K5. We need to keep the chains moving. And if you're Carson Young, I keep bringing this up, but his hard counts are working out great. And he has to do a better job at reading when those defensive players jump and just getting those free 5 yards when they're available. We are going to see the pitch to K5. Immediately stuffed. Absolutely massive tackle from Ty Watts. He has been everywhere in the backfield. That is only his 2nd hit, but both of them have been huge, as one was a sack and this one is a massive TFL. Looks like a loss of 5. Coach Anderson's got to be super happy with Ty's performance. We didn't see a ton of him against Georgia in their loss, and obviously that was a negative as he is a monster on that left end. So seeing more of him is absolutely fantastic for Miami. And now Bama is behind the chains, but we know if any team can get ahead of the chains in an instant, it's going to be this one. All day to throw, going deep, has a man, overthrows it. He had Swift wide open, and Carson just could not deliver. Clean pocket, wide open receiver, and just wasn't happening. He gets it to Allen, not able to make up all the yards, and this is going to be a 3-and-out, which is the exact opposite of what Alabama wanted. This is not good for their offense, as they have had back-to-back stalled-out drives, and Miami has had the ball for the vast majority of the 3rd quarter and is going to be getting it back. I do not anticipate them to go for it here on 4th and 4, deep in their own territory. But yeah, I don't have much more to say on this Bama offense. They have to be slightly disappointed here at the back-to-back punts. And if you're Miami, you're thinking, hey, we're doing our job defensively. We need PS3 and company to deliver so that they can go ahead and get these done. I'm going to go ahead and get another look at this squad, and I think they're going to keep doing more of the same, if I'm being completely honest. I expect to see good play calls out of Coach Anderson, and I just, all he's telling his guys is, listen, we just got to keep the ball moving. 1 play at a time, 10 yards at a time. Just keep the ball moving. That's all that's going to matter. We see the play action. Wide open guy underneath. Lots of time, though. Does end up settling for the underneath pass to D12. Takes the free yards. And this could also, with Bama feigning pressure, this could be another pass. I could see that. Quick slant route, has his man. That is Jabari Brown. That's who I've been looking to get more involved. Him and Tanaka have to be the leaders here in that receiving room. We're going to see PS3 going with the delayed handoff to D12, who goes for what looks like 4 yards. Make that 3.5. Hey, they'll take that. 3.5 means ahead of the chains. We're going to see a pass here. Absolute fade on a go route. Just overthrows his man. I think in the one-on-one situation with Falker, you got to feel pretty good about that. That's a big man. He can get up there. Just wasn't able, and he overthrows again. If he delivers on either of those passes, I feel like Miami's feeling great, but instead they now have to punt. And there's 2 minutes left in this third quarter, folks. This game is flying by. You know, again, thank you everyone so much for tuning in on this Monday night. I am having a great time calling this. I hope you're all having a great time watching it. We're just seeing a little bit of nerves out of these young quarterbacks that we usually don't see, especially not out of Carson. So I say lean on K5, get him the ball, and let him do his thing. But we are going to see a pass tons of time, ends up having to settle and throws it away. You got to give credit to that Miami secondary because Carson had a clean pocket and a lot of time to throw, but CJ Duffy and gang said, no, you're not getting this ball out today. There's no one you're going to target, and we're going to go ahead and shut this down. You see Coach Anderson telling his guys what types of plays they need to see if they want to score again and get into this game and hopefully get their first touchdown. Carson's going to take it here, take a quick route as pressure's coming. Has his man, that is Swift Carson, that is the Carson to Carson connection continuing. I think honestly Swift has done a great job at getting open. It's just Carson hasn't found him every single time. But seeing that more involvement is going to be critical. We have K5 wide open underneath. Turns it into a really decent gain there as we see Carson's stats. 204 yards, a tutty, and a pick. K. Grad with 73 yards on 5 catches. As a fellow running back, I love to see it, man. He is absolutely beasting out there tonight and trying to make a statement game after really just falling off the map against Ole Miss. This is a big bounce back, and Alabama finally is getting a drive going where they're moving the ball as we are under a minute to go in the third. You see the fake jet sweep into the handoff to K5, but Miami was ready for it that time. Nowhere to go. Does get back just 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, but that was a great wrap-up tackle to stop it from turning into anything else. Empty set here for Carson. Looking, has the man, delivers the dot to who else? Does he know he has elite receivers? He just keeps going back to K5, who keeps just making things happen for this Alabama offense. Has a man right on him and just does not care as he makes the catch and keeps the chains moving. And let's see, will we get a play before the end of the third? We will not, as that is going to wind down the third quarter. And let's get to everybody's favorite. Let me see the fours in chat. This is PFL Monday Night Football, 1 versus 3. Alabama holding on to a slim lead, 10-6. But they do have the ball, and a touchdown here. It could just put the nail in the coffin. Let's see what happens. As K5 gets the handoff here and does fight his way for the first down. Massive run. And that is perfect for what Alabama's looking for right now. That is a great way to start the fourth quarter, and the longer they can keep the ball, and most importantly, if they can get into the end zone, an 11-point difference, assuming they make the extra point, is basically insurmountable here for Miami based on how their offense has been performing. But if Miami's defense can hold them to 3 and we got a 1-possession game, we are in for a treat of a fourth quarter. So let's see how this shakes up as they continue to feed the ball to that man. K5 is at 14 touches for 61 yards. And, you know, that's not telling the whole story as Smith makes that tackle, because we've seen what he's done when it comes to receptions out of the backfield. Tries to spin off his first tackle, but gets absolutely crunched on the second. And now we have a very important third and short here. Empty set. Sends the man in motion. Do we see the touch pass? We do not. That is K5. You got to be watching that. We don't see a man chase him, so this is a zone. They are setting up a wide receiver screen. Gets absolutely obliterated. What a read there by Miami. That, of course, is that man, Eric Lyle. He was not falling for that. Saw the screen coming as K5 went in motion and just waited for it. Romo has no shot at holding on to the block there. That man is 50 pounds bigger than him in pure muscle. And Bama's going for the conversion here. Let's see, can they get it? They do hand it off. Are they going to give it to him? That was so close once again. Yes, they will. They will once again spot the ball over the line. And K5 with 2 absolutely massive fourth down carries. And the last conversion led to 7. Let's see if Alabama can mirror that again. Nowhere to really run on that first carry, but he's got 2 more downs to make something happen. He's going to take the snap. Has a wide open Andre Roche. getting involved in the offense, absolutely cooks his man on that short route. That is his first catch of the night, which is incredibly surprising. Could not have come at a more important time as he sets up Alabama for 1st and goal. 9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and man, just what a drawn-up play from Coach Willis. What a way to get Andre involved, wide open, ready to have his number called, and he delivers. As they set up the 1st and goal, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom, 1 in the backfield. I could see this as an inside zone to K5. It isn't. It is going to be a pass. Pressure is coming again. It's that man. It's the same guy. Ty Watts cannot be stopped as he gets his 2nd sack of the night, and that puts Bama way behind the chains. You can see the frustration in Coach Willis. This O-line just has not been able to stop this man at all. As Carson just lies on the ground asking, why me, why again? But he's tough. He gets back up. He's ready for this. This is going to be back-to-back passing situations, almost certainly. They send Andre Roche in motion. They do go with the inside zone, but it's not going anywhere, as guess who? That is absolutely red like nobody's business. And now they are in a very clear passing down. We're going to see another run. I don't know. I disagree with the back-to-back runs, especially to Williams and not K5. Coach Willis, I don't know what you were thinking you were going to see on those plays. You know, maybe you're thinking the defense is thinking like me, and this is obvious passing downs. Maybe the run will get them. But if you're thinking that, I feel like having Williams out there instead of K5 is crazy. As we see, Bama is forced to settle for 3. Absolutely massive stop from Miami. And guess what, folks? We have a 1-possession game with 6:53 to go in the 4th quarter, and Miami is going to get the ball back. This is the drive. You know, and if you're Alabama's defense, you're thinking, let me be the guy. You know, Andre Roche is thinking, hey, my brother just made an amazing catch. Roddy's thinking, Roddy's thinking that his brother needs to go out there and make an amazing defensive stop. If you're, your Wiggins, your Johnson, your Zion, you're all thinking the same thing. Which one of us is going to get the turnover? Which one of us is going to go absolutely crazy? And if you're Miami, you're just thinking, PS3, please deliver. Get Jabari involved. Get Amari involved. Keep D12 doing his thing. Get Sutton involved. Let's see some ball movement here on this first drive. As we see a very easy little 4-yard in route. Absolutely cooked them. PS3 going to take those easy passes and keep the ball moving. Still tons of time on this clock, but they do need a touchdown here. They're going to see the run. Will they give them forward progress to give them the first down, or are we looking at 3rd and inches? They did give them the first down. New set of downs here. 5:45 to go on the most important drive of the night, man. I am getting goosebumps up here as we see the pressure coming. Absolutely smack down. No way he's getting out of that one as Braswell gets in for his first sack of the night. We know PS3 can break sacks. We saw it last week, but he had 2 guys right there ready to absolutely crush him, put him in that sandwich as he gets dragged down to the ground. Massive play from the Bama defense. You know, I was talking all about the secondary. The D-line said, listen, Jay Smith, don't forget about us as they get back there, and that could be the difference maker is we need to see some magic out of PS3 in this Miami offense to keep this drive alive. Goes to the outside. Does he catch that? Oh my goodness, he did. Makes up a ton of yards. This is 3rd and 7. Falker with a huge grab for that 11-yard reception there. Makes it at least 3rd and manageable. See, PS3's looking. PS3 throws a pick. He throws a pick. Zion. That man, first he had a massive tackle earlier, and now he gets the pick that could seal this one up if Bama can respond and score here. But even just a field goal will make it a 2-possession game. What a way to read the route. He was going for Tanaka, and Zion said, no, you're going for me. Absolutely rips that ball out of the route, gets the interception, and puts Carson and K-Grad in a great position to score again and lock up as the #1 team in the nation out here proving themselves week after week after week. And this could be Miami's 2nd straight loss, which we have not seen all year out of them. Lots of time, and pressure is finally getting there. Has no choice but to throw it away. You know, Carson's stats still quite good. 20-28, 234 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. But I think you just got to be smart here. He goes for the screen. Nowhere for Andre Roche to go, though. I feel like that should have been a handoff, as that does stop the clock, which really isn't what they want. They are on a 3rd and 11 here. This will be an extremely quick 3 and out. Roche does get the ball again, but is going to get to 4th down, and I think they have to just take 3, make it a 2-possession game. Obviously, these field goals are not gimmies. You know, I've talked about that quite a bit. But at the end of the day, if you can hit this and make it a 10-point game, you are putting yourself in prime position to walk away with a victory. And I am so glad to see Roddy way more involved here, as, you know, obviously he's been the recipient of a few passes, but it's good to see because he is an elite wide receiver, and his involvement has been critical at this lead. And it does end up going in. That is a massive kick out of Fletcher to get the 10-point lead. He's got to be feeling great about that one. It looked like it might have been going right, but just does manage to sneak into the crossbar. And now, folks, we have a 2-possession game with only 3 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock. Listen, it's PFL, it's Monday night, anything can happen, but we have not seen the performance out of this Miami offense that we are used to. You know, I highlighted all these guys for a reason, not just PS3 being a little rocky. You see his stats there with no tutties and an interception. But D12, Sutton, Brown, Tanaka, those guys are all fantastic. So this performance really does just shine a light on how good Bama's defense is, as we see almost intercepted again on the deflection there. PS3's got to be a little bit careful here, as right now there is still slim chance, but if he throws a turnover, this one is going to be over fast. Finds his man, breaking off of guys and continuing to move the chains. That is very good for Alabama. They really couldn't be asking for much more out of that man, as they have now just passed 150 passing yards, and Falker with 2 big catches on back-to-back drives. History's going to take the snap here, has the man underneath, breaks the tackle. That is Sutton. Going to go ahead and keep the chains moving. Oh no, they are going to mark him 2nd and inches. But if you're Miami, you gotta get moving here. You're taking way too much time off this clock. You're down by 10. There's only 2.5 left. This clock is ticking fast. You have to score basically immediately. He goes for the long ball again, but just overthrows him. He just keeps overthrowing Falker, and that man is so big and so strong that I feel like he could definitely make those catches if he could just deliver one time. Overthrows again, and Falker is on the outside of his defender, as that was some incredible defense there by Alabama, stopping that. And now we have a 4th and inches. We do see the jet sweep. We do see the 1st down out of Sutton, but Miami's got to keep the ball moving. Big 1st down, obviously, for them to have any shot at this one, but they are reaching the point where they need to score, get an onside kick, and try and make something happen, which I got to be honest with you guys, I'm realistic when it comes to football. I've seen some crazy things, and like I said, that it could be crazy tonight. But I just have faith in this Bama defense. I have faith in the Bama hands team on the kickoff. They need so many things to go wrong for them, and Miami needs so many things to go right to get back into this one. I will say this has been an absolutely stellar performance out of Bama's secondary. Again, Andre Roche, Wiggins, Johnson, and of course Zion with the pick have been absolutely cooking it up and doing what they needed to do to maintain their #1 spot in the PFL. And to see him just do the dump off, and I mean, these are just Sutton with a huge tackle break though, trying to just will his team forward as they do get the clock stop. We're going to see PS3 take this one again. Looks like he might be looking deep. Ends up settling because the deep shots weren't there. Those types of plays are just not going to get it done though, as we are down to 1 minute and 15 seconds here. PS3 takes the snap, pressure coming, sack is there, does get brought down. Massive sack for Bama. I believe that was, was that Gardner? I thought that was Sam Washington on that sack. Well, it looks like it was Gardner. He's going deep, just too far once again. PS3 on these go routes. I swear he's got 12 incompletions. I think 6 of them have been just go routes to nobody. As we see the 4th and 1,000,000 miles. The field goal will put them within 1 possession and make it so they just have to get the onside kick. Let's see, does he make this? It's going. He does. He does make it a 7-point game. Monster kickers today, just barely getting these kicks in when they need to, and able to convert that. Obviously, he missed the one earlier, so going out and making it on that one is big. And let's see, it all comes down to this. Can they recover the onside kick? Kicks it straight to the hands team. I don't know what that was by Gibbons after the amazing field goal. If Bama would have fumbled that ball, I would have lost my mind. But it does seem like that is going to do it. Miami only has 2 timeouts, so they can at most stop the clock twice. Bama runs 3 times, kicks it right after. Maybe Miami gets 1 play off if Bama doesn't get a first down here. But 1 first down at a Carson K5 and company, and this game is a wrap. Let's go ahead and see how this one gets closed out here. He does send Williams in motion, does the handoff to K5. K5 tries to find the space, but does get stuffed. Miami's going to go ahead and call that timeout, force the second down. They get another stop here. They call timeout again. Then they get another stop. They're going to go down to about 12 or 11 seconds when they get the ball. So we're going to have to see some absolute insanity for anything to happen. We do see our boy CJ Duffy involved in that tackle there. He is very good at getting aggressive, especially towards the end of the game. You do see him, on the bottom of your screen there, ready to go. They're just going to take the knee because there's no timeouts left. And as you're going to see, there's going to be about 12 seconds when this punt goes off. He doesn't run the clock down all the way, which is kind of crazy. And we're going to see a touchback with 13 seconds on the clock. Maybe we see PS3 deliver a long ball first down. Get it, get set, spike it. But otherwise, this one's going to be done for. Let's see what happens. Clean pocket. Clean pocket. Did not need to just huck it off his back foot. That was insane. And that is just thrown down. We're only going to see one more play here if it takes the same amount of time. I would recommend not lunging off your back foot here, PS3, and just kind of trying to dial it in. Lots of time, has the time, heaves it forward, but just nowhere close enough, and that is another incompletion, and that does end this game as Alabama comes out and wins it again. Massive victory for them, 16-9, getting the job done both with the field goals, their offensive ball movement, and their defense absolutely holding that thing down. Zion Anderson with what I believe is the interception of the game. Absolute incredible play out of that young man. Well done by Alabama's defense. Of course, this has been John Smith in the booth. I want to give a big thank you to Commissioner Zeke, who's also my producer here. Shout out to the Prime Football League again. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, make sure you're liking the video, subscribing to our YouTube. Check us out on Instagram, man. Check us out on our other YouTube videos so you can see what we're all about. If you have any questions, hit somebody up, let us know. My man Zeke's got to collect some stats, but I am out for this one. It went pretty much how I expected it to go. I'm very vocal about this, but I do think Alabama is the best team in the PFL, and I think they're going to keep proving it week after week. So I will see everybody next time. Have a wonderful night. Signing off.